The world is evolving. Not long ago, the average age of a Rolls-Royce buyer was a fairly understandable 55 years old. Now though, with astronomical wealth coming from China and the Middle East, that number has dropped by 10 to just 45. Cars like the smaller, more focused Ghost and latterly the Wraith have played a big part in attracting a newer, more youthful audience. Models like the upcoming Cullinan SUV will further cement that energetic push alongside the car you see here, the brand new Rolls-Royce Dawn. It's only the brand's third convertible in nearly 50 years, and while it's not a replacement for the drophead, it'll sit alongside the Wraith, Ghost and Phantom as the brand's only convertible for the time being. And quite the convertible it is. It uses a detuned version of the Wraith's engine, a 6.6 litre V12 with power cut from 624 horsepower to 563. Now, you may wonder why in sunny South Africa I'm driving around with the roof up, not down. Well, there's a very good reason for that. This new Dawn is epically quiet. I've driven fixed roof coupes that are louder than this. Even when you give it a bootful, there's little more than a murmur from the massive V12. It's no slouch though. It'll do 0 to 62 miles an hour in 4.9 seconds and carry on to an electronically governed 155 miles an hour. It feels effortlessly fast but never rapid. Speed builds in a way that few other V12s can, ensuring complete comfort for all involved. It's incredibly composed too, with the compliant suspension dealing with the quick corners far better than you expect from a 2.5 tonne cabriolet. But let's be honest, you lot are more interested in what it's like to drive with the roof off rather than on. Well, it lowers at speeds of up to 30 miles an hour in just 20 seconds, and that raised deck lid not only hides the roof, but also acts as a bit of privacy for rear seat passengers. But you can't help but think it's all a bit contradicted when you realise quite how head-turning this car can be. It's actually fairly blustery with the windows up. Now, that's likely to be improved when the standard fit wind deflector is fitted, but as our car was an early production model, it wasn't quite available. You're actually, as a result, better off just lowering all 4 windows and enjoying the wind in the hair thrills. In the centre of the dashboard is a screen that will feel very systematical for any current BMW driver, and indeed anyone who's sat in a Wraith or Ghost. Of course, Rolls-Royce has added individual menu settings and standardised fonts to make it feel more upmarket, but it's easy to navigate and beautifully responsive. The car is vast, there's no two ways about it. Roof up or down, space in the back is quite frankly unrivaled. Now, bosses like to think of their cars as social spaces, and things like the coach-built doors that open from the back, not the front, and the huge rear legroom and headroom, well, it's certainly a social place to be. With the roof up, there's actually more room inside than you'll find in the fixed roof Wraith. Where the coupe slopes towards the rear, the Dawn's designers have effectively moved the C-pillar backwards to give occupants more headspace. Knee room is generous too. We're not talking Ghost-sized proportions, but it shames the likes of Bentley's Continental GT convertible. The new Rolls-Royce Dawn is exceptionally crafted, beautiful to drive and stunning to look at. The engine's a gem and it's even impressively practical, but the fact remains that very few people are ever going to be able to justify a £265,000 Rolls-Royce. But for those that can, this Dawn is in a class of its own. Click here for a rundown of the top 10 best luxury cars, and here for a review of the Bentley Continental GT convertible. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel by clicking on our logo.